Hi there. Welcome to our second annual virtual back to school night. I'm Mary Cornish. I am the language arts teacher for the middle school. I'm going to pull up a PowerPoint in just a minute to show you. Um, First, I want to welcome all of the new families to St. Therese. We have quite a few, which is wonderful. Um, the PowerPoint is mostly geared towards sixth grade homeroom parents, and I will ad lib in a few things there for the seventh and eighth grade. So as far as what I teach for sixth grade, I teach all of their language arts, grammar, writing, spelling, phonics, vocabulary, reading, and I'm their religion teacher as well. For seventh grade, it's grammar, writing, spelling, vocabulary, and their literature teacher. In eighth grade, it's just English, where we do grammar, writing, and spelling and vocabulary. Okay, let me see if I can get this up here for you. Okay, so I already welcomed you. Here we are, the grade 6 back to school night. Okay, so what you need to know about grade 6 is that it is a year of tremendous change for your children. They attend what we call departmental classes. So, in other words, I already told you what I teach for them, but they have a separate teacher for social studies and for science and for math. Okay, so it's also because of that, there is a need for increased organizational skills, being prepared to be in different, not that they're not leaving the classrooms, but being prepared to be with different teaching styles throughout the day when they're used to being in the same room with the same teachers during the entire day, which brings about some increased responsibility. Being responsible for keeping track of 4 different teachers and due dates and a variety of different homework assignments. We used to consider it an increased socialization time for them, but because of COVID, there's not as much of that. Like I said, the children aren't going from room to room. The teachers are going from room to room, so they don't spend as much time with each other. Of course, they do eat together in the cafeteria, and they do have recess time together. Okay, so they need to be prepared. Most importantly, that their Chromebooks need to be charged. Okay, they should have their notebooks, all their homework, pens, pencils, etc., all of the supplies that were requested of them. Very important to be prepared each day. If your child is absent, please call for homework in the morning. It takes a while to get situated because I don't know what all their different homework requirements will be. So if I get the request in the morning, I can put it out to all of the teachers and we can get work together for you. Because one day out does accumulate into a lot of missed work. So for me, sixth graders, spelling and phonics, there's always a due date for the spelling and phonics pages and units. We do not work ahead in these books. I know that in previous years they were allowed to work ahead, and we do not do that, specifically because I have dedicated time to spelling and phonics throughout our day in our language arts area. Their grammar homework, when we take notes and do our grammar lessons, we usually do get the workbook finished at school. So even if you see it on the blog and they tell you they finished it at school, that's very likely could be. Because I feel like when they're taking notes, and grammar can be tricky, I want to be there to help them with their homework and point it out in their notes and help them find the answers, figure out the answers, because I know that there will be an increased workload in their other classes homework wise. And I also realize that, you don't want to sit home and do grammar homework, that you all have a job. That's my job. So I try to allow them at least to get the majority of it finished at school. And as I mentioned, they have several teachers. So they need to check each teacher's individual blog for their homework and various assignments. I mentioned the Chromebooks being charged. It's a biggie because we don't have charging stations anymore. If you want to continue to keep the charger back and forth in the backpack, we can charge if need be. Of course, if there's emergencies, which we had a few today when we were doing our NWEA testing. So I had student using my Chromebook and other borrowed Chromebooks. So in an emergency situation like that, we try to make do, but they should come in charged. They should also only be used for schoolwork. Okay, there's a lot of YouTube watching and game playing that is not permitted, and that is something that you will find in the signed technology agreement. I do allow them to listen to music while they're doing their classwork or during study hall, but they must have some kind of earbuds or headphones so as to not distract the students around them. All of their textbooks are either scanned or there's a digital version through the publisher's website. In most cases, a hard copy can be made available if necessary. I believe science might be the only case where we do not have an actual hard copy of a book. Okay, so religion, I mentioned I am the 6th grade religion teacher. The series, it's a We Believe series by Sadlier that we've been using for many, many years. 6th grade religion covers the Old Testament, and it is my very favorite part of the day. And I tell the students every year, this is my favorite part. It's my favorite subject. I very much enjoy sharing my faith with the children. It is the highlight of my day. We do a lot of talking about lots of different things. Try to relate today to anything and everything that we read in their textbook. I also try to instill in them how important prayer is in their lives. We do start our days with prayers, and we pray at lunchtime, and we end our day with prayer. I shared with them a story. I share it with my class every year. Some of you that I know, the older siblings, know this story already. Many, many years ago, I had encephalitis, and I was in a coma for 11 or so days, and I was very, very sick. When I woke up, I was completely paralyzed on my left side. I couldn't speak, and it took a long time. It took the better part of 2 years for me to regain. Cognitively, I regained everything. But physically, I have no fine motor in my left hand and a general weakness on the left side of my body. And I tell them this story. The reason for that is twofold. One, because I need their help by dropping papers or things that are difficult for me to manipulate in the classroom. I need their help with those things. And the other one is just to show them that, prayer is important. As many, many people prayed for me during that time. And also how important hard work is in every aspect of your life. Overcoming obstacles, that was something for me. It was a tremendous deal of hard work. Whatever aspect of their life it is, whether it's academia or dance or sports, or God forbid, some type of illness or something disruptive in their lives that they really need to overcome, how working hard, that hard work is always rewarded. I try to convey that message as much as possible. Okay, and in 6th grade, it's literature-based, the reading. I prefer to use novels and work on literacy skills and vocabulary with the students. The phonics book gets completed during the first half of the year. We are always done by Christmas, sometimes even by Thanksgiving. There is a Basil Reader, the Reading Street textbook that I do pull out and use. Sometimes there can be specific skills that need emphasizing, like comparing and contrasting and inferencing, which can still be tricky at this stage of the game for 6th graders. So I will pull out a selection here and there to work on those skills when it falls in line with the rest of the curriculum. And I always recommend having a book to read during free time. Some students work much more quickly than others, and some work slowly. That's fine. It's a very large group. We're getting used to everybody's pace, and they're getting used to how things go in our classroom. So always having something of their own to read, and it also keeps them off the Chromebooks during any downtime that they may have when they're finished with their work. Okay, as I mentioned, in language arts, that encompasses, we have grammar, writing, spelling, and vocabulary. And all four of those things make up one grade on their report card now. Years ago, it was broken down, and now it's one language arts grade. So all of this is weighted, and we create a one overall grade for language arts. Grammar is weighted more heavily, grammar and writing, then the spelling and vocabulary units. In sixth grade, we'll start vocabulary in January once we're done with the phonics book. And seventh and eighth grade are fully underway with it. Okay, we are a STEM school, which we like to call it a stream school. We try to work that religion into it. I don't know how much STEM has actually been done because of COVID. I know that keeping the children separated has been a priority and masked up. So I don't know how much STEM has been done, like I said, but my part of that, being the English teacher, would be helping them, especially if there's some writing component that needed to be attended to in any STEM assignments. And the teachers at the middle school level collaborate a lot with these types of things. When something's requested of me, we'll have a team meeting, a middle school team meeting, and get things situated that way. So thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for supporting your children. And we can keep the open lines of communication. There is my email there, grade6@stthereseroxbury.org. Parent Square is for general announcements. There's no direct messaging on Parent Square any longer. The Remind app, there is my class code for the Remind app right there on the in the yellow there. I think it's on my blog as well. So, and also thank you so much for sharing your children with me. I've been at St. Teresa's, this is my 19th year. The first 2 years, I worked for the county as an instructional aide. And now then I taught fourth grade for 8 years. And now I've been in sixth grade since then. And I know sometimes on back to school night, you like to say hello, or I could introduce myself, but being virtual, that's different. But we do have conferences on November the 22nd and 23rd. That's, I believe, a Monday. It's the Monday and Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And we have half days that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And the conferences are scheduled for noon on the Monday and Tuesday, but I have a very large class and I'd be happy to accommodate you. They will likely be virtual. I will be happy to accommodate you before school. I clock into school before 6 a.m. every day. Happy to have a conference before school starts, or after, at other times, maybe even the week before during a prep period of mine. If you need that, you just reach out via email, especially when we get closer to that. And if you have any questions at all, you can email me and or call the school. My extension is 116, and that will get you right to the sixth grade classroom. I can't promise you I will answer your phone, but I will answer your phone call, your message, as soon as humanly possible. Okay, thank you, and have a good night.